What's up, everybody? Welcome to the IOP family. I am your host, Moni-Moni, with a brand new episode. Welcome to the beginning, and don't forget to stay. We're going to breathe in what it truly takes to create opulence into our everyday lives. On today's episode, I have an amazing guest and actually a great friend of mine, Kris, who is here to talk about his photography journey. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, guys. Thank you for having me here. It's really good to be on here, and I can't wait to share my story with you all.
Yes, and thank you for being here. So I actually have the pleasure to know who Kris is, and he's an amazing person, and I'm really proud of him and of his growth. So I would like for you guys to get to know a little about him. So tell us a little bit about who Krismaart is. Who is this amazing, inspirational person?
Okay. So, let's start off with how I got the name. So it's actually Kris Magaji Art. Yeah, so it's pretty much my first name and my last name. And what I, because my style of photography is pretty much like a visual storytelling, like the fine art kind of art, so that's how I got the name Krismaart. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool.
I think it's cool. I've seen you grow, and I think that's very awesome. So, what can you say actually pushed you on to embark photography? Like, what was the moment that you said, you know what, this is actually something that I'm going to enjoy, so I'm doing it. So what pushed you to that point?
Actually, for me, I think photography is actually a personal journey because growing up as a kid, things kind of like move so fast and time just kind of like fly. And I noticed there were certain things we do as kids that over time, as the year runs by, those kind of activities kind of just cease. So I'm like,
Yeah.
we're gradually evolving. We're like in a technological driven age, and hey, in years to come, people will know like what life used to be. So that was when I started off with my childhood series, where I started like capturing moments of my childhood, like some activities I and my peers do back then as kids.
Right.
I started trying to like recreate those kind of lifestyle, and I think that was actually what inspired me to get into photography, because it's actually a tool I see to capture my childhood experience. So that's like the major drive, if you ask me.
Nice. And you know what? Photography does tell a story. So for you to be able to capture those moments, it's really important, because a lot of us don't have those moments or those memories to have, or like you said, we grow up and it just kind of happens so quick that we don't even get to breathe it in and truly appreciate what the moment is really giving us, and you being able to capture those things are really important. So thank you for doing that. What are some of the things that you want the listeners to know about, Krismaart photography? Like, what should they consider if they're looking to pursue a similar journey? We want to know the true knit and grit. Like, what were some of the challenges that you had to face?
Yeah, so I mean, my story it's kind of crazy because I started off as a graphic designer. So back in college, I do graphics and stuff. So when I wanted to branch into photography, I couldn't afford a camera. Actually, like I couldn't afford a camera at that time. So, and my dad couldn't actually get me one too, because I think he just lost his job. So it's kind of like personal, but yeah. So what I did that time was I think I was, yeah, as I said, I was into graphic design. So I have friends that are into like, tech and stuff. So sometimes when all these companies are trying to do like a bounty where they like call like designers, creatives from all around the world to like submit entries for designs and arts for their company for promotion. So I've been like putting in some graphic works, and yeah, I've been making like little money like here and there. So I was able to save up. I think one project I did that actually gave me like a good amount of money to like buy my first camera. I was actually shot a music video for Binance. Yeah, so the exchange, and it's not like, okay, we shot a music video to promote a certain thing they were doing at that time. I think 2020. The company gave us like, I think 100 Binance that time. It wasn't a lot of money. It was worth decent amount that I was able to afford my first camera then. Yeah, so yeah. So I started off with my first camera.
What, after you bought your first camera, what was the one thing that you said, okay, this is my next step? Were you hired onto another project? Did you spread the word, or whoever you worked with, did they spread the word? When did you get your next project? Because, you know, we want to know how to initiate that. You know, what can you tell to the next dreamer that wants to become a photographer? What can you tell them that will push them to take the next step? Because a lot of times we get inspired, but then they lose a lot of hope, or they lose their drive. So what can you say pushed you to be able to do what you're doing now? Because I've seen your work and it's amazing, and you keep growing. And I think that's the lesson in it. But what can you tell that person that's wanting to become a photographer, but is like scared to take the next step?
Okay. Yeah, I would say, passion is like the main ultimate goal that has kept me. And, because with passion, it's really the key thing, I would say. And whoever is looking to like venture into this, either as a business or as a hobby or whatever the motive is, I would say just be passion driven, or whatever drives you, you know, just stick to that. And yeah, and consistency too, because when I started, my work was, I would say, trash, because I was starting, and I wasn't getting any response. Like, I wasn't getting any engagement then on Instagram, because I was obviously just starting out. So I kept on pushing consistency, and you have to be open to learning new styles and new techniques to like improve your work. Like, you know, whoever's like looking to take this as a passion or as a hobby or career, whatever motive it is, you have to like be open to learning new things, to improving your skill, and also to, you know, stay on top of the game, because there are a lot of creatives out there and people are always looking for something new. Like, if you're talking about photography, there are tons of guys out there that are good, that do this thing like magic. If you're talking about fashion photography, there are like dozens of guys that do all those things. So it all depends on what style of photography you're doing. Whichever style you choose to go with, I would say passion is key, hard working. You know, you have to like learn new skill, and yeah, pretty much. And don't rely so much on like the engagement you get when you're starting, because as a beginner, you won't actually get like the kind of engagement you want on social media. Like, hey, you want 10,000 people, like you want this amount of, and you won't actually get that like for starters. So keep your mind, so like lower your expectations on like the engagements, and just focus on building your craft, because building your craft will attract the right set of people to the right set of audience that love your art. And that's all, you know, that's all you need. So just build your craft. That's all I can say. Build your craft. Attractive.
Well, would you also say for them to trust themselves? Like, trust that whatever you think that you can create, do it. Go for it. And
right. Trust yourself and always think outside the box. Have a third person mindset. Like, how would people react to this? You know, and also like just it's a free world. You know, it's a just free your mind and explore. There's no limit. There's no rule. Like, art has no rule. Just go out there and do whatever. Do it as it comes. You know, don't overthink. That's what I'll say. Don't overthink ideas. Just keep putting those ideas out there, and as soon as they come, put it out there. Get it done.
Just get it done. That's what you need to do. Just get it done. Could you
Yeah.
talk about a little bit of your pieces? You have an amazing melanin album out there, and
Yeah.
man, what you capture is just so beautiful. I've seen all the beautiful women and men that you have on there, and it's just inspiring to see because, for one, they're already illuminating. And then now here you are capturing that alone, and I'm just like, wow, like there's some breathtaking photos you've taken. I think one that I saw that clearly had a message was you had this beautiful woman on plastic bottles, water
Oh,
bottles.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, I love that because it's just like, hey, it's giving a message of like you can make beauty out of anything, but at the same time, it's like, hey, this is what's damaging our environment. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's just like, can you talk a little bit about those projects?
Yeah, so that specific project, I think I tagged it the recycle. How did I even come about that project? So I think
Right.
I woke up one night because my ideas just keep coming randomly, and anytime ideas come, I like just write it down. I write it down, or okay, I just type it. I have a notebook on my like iPhone, so I just like type it in my notebook. And yeah, so when I wrote it down, I just started saving up like water bottles. Like anytime we consume, I told my roommate, hey, just help me save these water bottles. And he was like, what I just like an
Like,
idea
why?
and stuff. So I was like, I just kept saving water bottles. I think I contacted some of my friends. I was like, hey, whenever you drink water, please don't trash the bottles because I need those. So I just started saving them, like saving all of a sudden. Then I just spoke to the model prior to, having the right amount. So when I had like the right amount of water bottles I needed for the project, I just like hit the model up and boom, which is
Was there like a purpose behind it, or was it just like, I just want people
so
to make their own idea of it? Because I told you what I thought when I saw it.
so yeah, so I mean that is the plain message. It's pretty much like beauty coming out of like trash. It was like
Mm.
trash, like regardless of where you're coming from, you can actually stand out. Yeah, regardless of where you're coming from, your background, what your parents do, whatever story they have, or whatever your childhood is, whatever life, rich or poor, like wherever you're coming from, no matter how bad it is, you can actually just like make a difference. So that was how
Right.
I got a pretty lady to just like sit up in that mess, So it's more like, you can make a difference around you. You can be the change.
Right.
So that's kind of the message.
Yes, that's a good message. And I also saw one where you have this young man in a river, like, and I think I saw where someone said, like, there's still more story. There's like a big story to be told with that photo. Like, what can you say to people who, take your images and they're inspired by it and they're just like, wow, like I almost want to see the movie behind it, like what is the story behind this photo? Because it's a wonderful photo. I saw it and I was just like, dang.
So for that particular photo, it's really just showing like a whole bunch of like frustration, and it's kind of like free mind, kind of like just looking for that peace, kind of just letting things go, the guy's just in the ocean. It's just a whole lot of thought, like life is hitting, and you're just like, what am I gonna do? Like you're just wrapped up in all kinds of thought, and you're at the point of giving up. You're in the ocean. There's a whole lot that can still revolve. There's still, yeah. So, and some of my art, I put it out there, and I just have like a glimpse of idea, put it out there, and I know people can perceive it in different perspectives. So you can your own way and have a meaning to it, which is perfect. Another person can see it and it can speak to people differently. So yeah, I think that's the beautiful thing about that, because people see it and just like write what they feel, and because there was a time I think I did a poetry contest where I gave out some gifts out, and I just called out poets and writers. I just put a picture out there, and I was like, just write what you think, write what you see, tell us what. So, and people were writing creative stuff, and I started to read lots of meaning. I was like, I had little idea that this one picture can be interpreted in like different tones of ways. It was actually interesting to see that people perceive my art in different ways. Yeah, so.
I think I was actually one of the winners to that, actually.
Oh, okay.
I was third place.
Oh,
I was third place on that. Yeah.
I remember. There, yeah. Awesome.
And I think I remember I said it looked like masculine and femininity energy, like balancing in between each other. It was like showing the masculine and the feminine balanced out. And I thought that was so beautiful because you have this feminine energy and then you have this masculine energy, and right now in the time where all that is really potent in a way of like people are trying to figure that part out within themselves, for you to be able to capture that in a photo was just awesome. So when you saw, I actually got third place. Okay, IOP for the win. I mean, I didn't get first, but I at least got third. Okay.
I just talking about that. Yeah, so stuff like that just kind of like opens up creatives and get people to like see things differently and get other people's point of view, which is cool because you get to like see things you don't even know, you don't even see in the first place. So I think cool. And I have lots more projects like that to actually do before the year runs out. I mean, we're just starting the year, so yeah.
Yes, 2023, the year where we're just gonna take it all. That's what we're doing.
Right.
Yes, and no, that's just amazing that people are able to see one of your pictures and be like, "Hey, this is what I take from it." Because you're right. Everyone has their own perspective with things or the way they see things. So it's just beautiful that you are able, again, to capture these moments, capture, and then we get to see what's in your creative mind at the same time. We get to go and see what you come up with, which I think is the best thing because you're giving authenticity in it. You're trying to capture a story, but at the same time, you're allowing the readers or people outside of the box to think outside of the box and think and pull whatever they can from it. And who knows, maybe it's inspiration, maybe it's motivation, maybe it's, like the guy, he was in the ocean releasing, all his stresses, and it's just like, hey, I can do that too.
Right.
And things like that. And I think that's beautiful. And I think that's something, if you are looking to pursue a photography journey, it's something to take in count. Like, you don't even have to say, oh, this picture is of a couple balancing their energy. No, you can allow people to make their own assumptions of what it may be, So since you are talking about 2023, tell us what's next. I know you mentioned you have more projects in the works. Is there anything special that we should know, or you can give us a little sneak peek too?
2023 actually is special, and this is actually the year. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So this is the year I'm actually thinking, planning to open my photography studio. Like, I'm definitely gonna make it classy, and I'm working towards that. So definitely, I'm hoping before July, hopefully I should have something going on. So so that's like the big thing for 2023. Yeah, that's one thing I think you all should look out for, and it's definitely gonna be dope. Yeah, so setting up.
Yes, you heard that right. Here first on IOP podcast.
Right.
Krismaart Photography is going to open his own place. If you're in the DFW area, that's where he's at. Go book a session, because trust me, I've seen his work firsthand. I've worked with him before firsthand. Yes, and I'm so proud. And, honestly, just watching his growth, being someone on the side, just watching your growth has really inspired, you know, me to even take on this platform, because I was just like, you know what an awesome way. Like, how else can I help my friend than, you know, having them join this podcast and tell everyone, hey, this is where I'm doing my work at, or this is my work, and, you know, helping other people get inspired. You know, I know my mom wanted to be a photographer when she was young, you know, but she left those dreams in the past, you know what I'm saying? She didn't embark it. And like you said, consistency is key. So if you want to start it, it's important for you to be consistent with it, you know, and I think that's an important message with that. So tell everyone where they can find you other than in the DFW area. Where else can they find you? Like TikTok, Instagram, let us know.
Yeah, y'all can find me on Instagram, Krismaart. I'm I think the only user that has that name, KRISMAART on Instagram, and _Krismaart on TikTok, and the same on Twitter, _Krismaart. So you all can find me there. I'm always posting. I think I post more on Instagram. But yeah, Instagram and TikTok. So you all can find me, find my works there. And yeah.
And of course, all the links will be in the description box below. Well, Kris, thank you so much for joining the show and sharing your wisdom and experience.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And yeah, it's such a pleasure to be on the podcast. And
this is just the beginning. Right. We're going to have more episodes, because that's the thing with the IOP family, okay? Once you become an IOP member, you're a member for life, okay? Being able to reach so many people and also have people like you in our IOP family is so important, because we get to grow with you, you know, and we get to watch your growth continue happen. Like I said, you know, for the listeners, I know him personally. You know, I've worked with him, and to see where, you know, where I even came into his life and worked with him, and to see where he's at right now is just so inspiring. So I'm really proud of him, and I can't wait to have you on more featuring episodes, so that way, you know, people can get to know more about Kris, and, you know, then we get to really see your actual studio when you have it, you know, because you will. And that's just it. You will have. And for my IOP family, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe on all of our platforms. Hasta la próxima. Ciao for now.
All right.
Bye.